August 1945, Tokyo Bay. American Marines landed expecting monsters. What they saw broke every expectation. One soldier hadn't eaten in 17 days. He still bowed before accepting food. Skeletal figures stood in perfect formation. Their uniforms hung like burial shrouds. A Japanese officer clutched his daughter's photo, tears streaming down his face. This image haunted one sergeant for 50 years. Marine Corporal Davis whispered to his buddy, "These aren't the fanatics from the propaganda." The surrender ceremony was deathly silent. Japanese officers removed their ancestral swords, hands trembling with unbearable shame. Some wept openly in formation. General MacArthur watched with calculated eyes. He saw broken men, not beasts. "Treat them with dignity," he ordered. His staff thought he'd lost his mind. Show mercy to Pearl Harbor's attackers? MacArthur understood something his officers didn't. Humiliation breeds the next war. Respect might prevent it. The first prison camps opened within days. American soldiers distributed sea rations. Japanese soldiers bowed so deeply they touched earth. Many collapsed while eating. Their bodies couldn't process food anymore. What most people don't know comes next. A Japanese captain asked through a translator, "Why do you feed us?" The American sergeant paused. "Because the war is over." The captain collapsed to his knees. He had expected mass execution, not compassion. 847 high-ranking war criminals would face trial, but 4.2 million regular soldiers went free. This distinction shocked everyone. American policy separated leaders from followers. Thousands of Japanese soldiers waited on remote islands. Nobody told them the war ended. Some fought on for 8 more months. When American ships arrived with news, many attacked, thinking it was a trick. Others committed ritual suicide immediately. "Impossible!" they screamed. "The divine empire cannot fall." But the emperor's voice shattered their reality. His radio broadcast broke their warrior code. American medics treated wounded Japanese soldiers, right beside their own casualties. This created impossible tension. Yesterday they were killing each other. Today they shared morphine and bandages. Navy Corpsman Holland wrote home about it. "I bandaged the man who shot Jenkins. War makes 0 sense up close." He cried when I saved his leg. The repatriation ships began loading in September. Millions needed transport home. Japanese soldiers lined up for 12-hour shifts, clutching rice paper bags of possessions. Everything else was incinerated. American officers processed each man individually, recording names and destroyed home villages. Many soldiers had no village left. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Tokyo, Osaka, all burned beyond recognition. "What will you do now?" Americans asked. The soldiers gave empty stares. Survival was the only thought left. Lieutenant James Richardson kept a forbidden diary. His entries revealed a transformation. September 12th. Met a kamikaze pilot today. Failed mission. Engine malfunction saved him. He showed me photos of his daughters. They could be my nieces. How did we become this to each other? Not everyone accepted the peace policy. Marine Sergeant O'Brien refused to help. "They killed my brother at Iwo Jima. I won't feed them." His captain gave him a direct order. "You will." That's what separates us. O'Brien complied but never forgave. Some wounds don't heal. This detail never made it into history books. A fight broke out at a demobilization center. An American private recognized a Japanese sergeant. "You were at Bataan Death March!" He lunged with his rifle. MPs tackled him before contact. The Japanese sergeant didn't defend himself. He stood perfectly still, waiting for whatever came. "I deserve this," he whispered in English. The private was removed. The sergeant remained motionless for an hour. This moment captured the entire occupation. Violence meeting acceptance. Rage meeting remorse. Slowly, unexpectedly, attitudes shifted. Personal interactions destroyed propaganda images. Faces replaced monstrous stereotypes. Stories replaced dehumanizing caricatures. Both sides discovered uncomfortable truths. We're all just following orders. We're all missing home. We're all tired of killing. Letters home reflected this transformation. Dear Mum, they're not what we thought. They're exhausted farmers in uniforms, wanting the same things we want. To survive, to see family again. These letters confused families back home. Newspapers painted very different pictures. Savage enemies without human feelings. But soldiers witnessed reality. War propaganda never survives actual contact. Demobilization centers became strange spaces. Former enemies shared cigarettes and stories through broken English and hand gestures. They showed family photographs, found unexpected common ground. A Japanese sergeant approached an American captain. "I fought at Guadalcanal," he said carefully. "Maybe I shot at you there." The captain studied him silently. "Maybe you did." They shook hands anyway. Both survived the same hell. That created bonds deeper than politics. MacArthur pushed reconstruction over punishment. "We'll transform them into our ally." Many Americans called this insanity. How do you trust yesterday's mortal enemy? But the Cold War was beginning. New threats required unlikely partnerships. Japanese veterans returned to apocalyptic ruins. No jobs, no homes, no hope. American occupation authorities created work programs. Former soldiers built roads together, cleared endless rubble side by side, planted crops in contaminated soil, working alongside their former enemies. Captain William Morrison supervised mixed crews. The Japanese work harder than anyone, desperate to prove they're not monsters, desperate to rebuild national honor. The shame of defeat drove them. Through backbreaking labor, they found purpose. Through construction, they discovered redemption. The last repatriation ships departed in 1949, 4 years after the surrender. 6 million Japanese soldiers finally went home. They carried memories that never faded, but also unexpected experiences. American kindness they never anticipated. Mercy they believed they didn't deserve. This shaped Japan's entire post-war identity. From militaristic empire to peaceful democracy. From America's enemy to America's closest ally. The transformation seemed absolutely impossible, yet it happened within 1 generation. What most historians miss about this period, the transformation wasn't political. It was deeply personal. Individual moments of unexpected humanity. A sergeant sharing his rations, a medic saving an enemy's life, a captain choosing mercy over revenge. These small acts accumulated. They built something nobody predicted. Decades later, veterans reunited voluntarily. Former enemies shared meals together, traded war stories from opposite perspectives, apologized for violence long past, forgave wounds that never fully healed. Some even became lifelong friends. These reunions proved something profound. Enemies are constructed, not natural, and they can be deconstructed through forced proximity and unavoidable humanity, through recognizing shared suffering and dreams, through leaders choosing peace over vengeance. What American occupation forces said evolved completely. From "they're inhuman monsters" to "they're soldiers like us." From "they all deserve execution" to "most deserve mercy." From "never forgive their crimes" to "maybe we can coexist." This transformation required courage from everyone. Japanese soldiers accepting defeat with dignity. American soldiers offering mercy despite justified anger. Leaders choosing the harder path toward peace. The alternative was another war within years. Humiliation breeds resentment. Resentment breeds violence. The cycle repeats endlessly. unless someone breaks it deliberately. In 1945, both sides chose differently. American forces saw surrendered Japanese soldiers, not as the eternal enemy, but as men trying to return to life, exhausted, broken, deeply ashamed, yet fundamentally still human, still deserving basic dignity. This single recognition changed history. It transformed Japan completely. It elevated America's global standing. It proved enemies can become allies, that wars can truly end, not just with treaties and ceremonies, but with understanding and deliberate mercy. What American occupation forces said when they saw surrendered Japanese soldiers wasn't what anyone expected. They didn't say, "You're our prisoners." They said, "The war is over." They didn't say, "You're still our enemy." They said, "Let's build something better together." Those words echoed across 80 years, shaping modern Asia entirely, creating unprecedented global stability, proving that mercy is strength, never weakness.